Two-time WNBA champion Sydney Colson is signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. Now, I feel like this signing, of all of the moves that the Fever have made during this free agency season.
Did you see Aja Wilson's face when she heard Sydney Colson left? It was like someone told her the Aces were moving to Mars. Wilson's jaw dropped so hard, I thought it was gonna hit the floor. But you know what's even crazier? The reason behind Colson's move. It's all because of Caitlin Clark. Yeah, that rookie who's been lighting up the scoreboard before she even stepped on a WNBA court. The Fever are building a super team, and Aja's watching her championship dreams slip away. Want to know how this all went down? Remember when the Indiana Fever were the team everyone rolled their eyes at? Well, those days are long gone, and you won't believe the incredible turnaround they've pulled off. Let's rewind to last season when the Fever were struggling to win games. They were the team nobody wanted to talk about, the one that made fans change the channel. But then something wild happened that changed everything. Enter Caitlin Clark. This rookie came in like a tornado, and suddenly the Fever weren't just better, they were must-see TV. Clark lit up the court like it was the 4th of July, and everyone took notice. The energy she brought was contagious, spreading through the team faster than gossip in a locker room.
Two-time WNBA champion Sydney Colson is signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever here, but I actually thought that the Indiana Fever were title contenders before they picked up Sydney Colson.
You know what's crazy? The Fever went from being the league's punching bag to nearly knocking out their opponents in the first round of playoffs. That's like going from last pick in gym class to team captain overnight. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever didn't just sit back and let Clark do all the heavy lifting. Nope, they decided to go big or go home. The front office made some serious moves that had everyone's jaws on the floor. We're talking about bringing in players with championship experience, the kind of ballers who know what it takes to go all the way. It was like watching a master chef add the perfect ingredients to an already simmering pot. Imagine this, the Fever's front office huddled up like they were planning a heist. They weren't just throwing darts at a board, they were putting together a puzzle where every piece fit just right. They brought in veterans who could mentor the young guns, shooters who could space the floor for Clark, and defenders who could lock down the opposing team's best players. And just like that, the Indiana Fever became the hottest destination in the league. Can you believe it?
Colson, who spent the last 3 seasons in Las Vegas, brings veteran pedigree and experience in the backcourt to a surging. Sydney is somebody who knows how to win and has been in those positions before. So this signing once again proves from the Indiana Fever front office.
Players who wouldn't have given Indiana a second glance before were suddenly blowing up their agent's phone, trying to get in on the action. It was like the Fever went from being the ugly duckling to the belle of the ball overnight. But wait, you think that's impressive? The biggest move was yet to come, and it's got everyone talking. The Fever weren't done shaking things up. They had one more ace up their sleeve, a move so bold it sent shockwaves through the entire league. Hold on to your seats, because the Fever just dropped a bombshell that's shaking up the entire WNBA. They didn't just sign any player. They nabbed someone called the best locker room player in the league. Now, you might be thinking, so what? Trust me, this is way bigger than you think. The Fever just pulled off the heist of the century by snagging Sydney Colson from the Las Vegas Aces.
Now, I feel like this signing, of all of the moves that the Fever have made during this free agency season, she's a locker room pickup, another veteran pickup, somebody who can slot in and be backup for Kelsey.
But here's the kicker. Colson's not your typical superstar. Her stats, they're not gonna blow you away. We're talking about 2.5 points and 1.5 assists per game. But that's not why the Fever wanted her. Colson's real value? It's like a secret superpower that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. She's the glue that holds a team together, the one who keeps everyone's spirits high when things get tough, the player who knows exactly what to say when the pressure's on. That's why a source called her the best locker room player in the WNBA. That's huge, folks. Think about it. The Fever didn't just get a player, they got a game changer. Someone who can transform the entire team culture. It's like they found the missing piece of the puzzle they didn't even know they were looking for. But here's what's got everyone scratching their heads. Why would Colson leave a championship team like the Aces for the Fever? What's really going on here?
Because Sydney Colson seemed to be a key piece to the Las Vegas Aces, is a role player. She can play the 1 or the 2. And I feel like that's probably the same role that she's going to step in with the Indiana.
Well, let me tell you, the Fever are playing 4D chess while everyone else is still figuring out checkers. They're not just building a team, they're creating a winning atmosphere that's starting to turn heads across the league. See, Colson brings something called championship DNA. It's not just about her skills on the court, it's about her ability to mentor younger players and show them what it takes to win. The Fever's front office, they're geniuses. They're not just looking at stats, they're thinking about team chemistry and how to build a winning culture from the ground up. And you know who's going to benefit the most from this? Caitlin Clark. Imagine being a rookie and having someone like Colson to learn from. Someone who can teach you how to handle the pressure, how to be a leader, how to win. That's priceless. But here's where it gets really interesting. This move, it's sending shockwaves through the entire league. The Aces, they're feeling the heat. Losing Colson is a big blow, and now they're scrambling to figure out how to keep their mojo going without her. You know what's crazy? The Fever, the team everyone used to laugh at, is now the team everyone's watching. They're not just making moves, they're making smart moves. They're building something special, and players around the league are starting to notice. Whoa, talk about a fall from grace.
And it seemed like that Las Vegas Aces group is kind of falling apart at the moment. Kelsey Plum is now with the Spark because you never know when these players could be teammates again. And unfortunately, that is what has happened right now.
The Las Vegas Aces were once the team everyone wanted to be. Back-to-back championships, a roster that looked like an all-star game lineup, and fans who couldn't stop grinning. But now, it's like watching your favorite TV show where all the best characters are suddenly leaving. First, Kelsey Plum packed her bags and headed to the Sparks. That's like losing your ace in the hole. Pun totally intended. Plum wasn't just any player. She was the heart of the Aces' offensive strategy. Without her, it's like trying to play poker without your best hand. And now Sydney Colson's gone too. You know what's crazy? One Aces fan was in total disbelief, asking, why would they take Sydney from us? It's not just about losing players, it's about losing the glue that held the team together. Colson might not have had the flashiest stats, but she was the one who kept everyone laughing even when things got tough. But wait, it gets even juicier. There are whispers, rumors swirling around the Aces locker room. Something's not right in paradise. People are saying that players might be trying to get as far away from head coach Becky Hammon and Aja Wilson as possible. Is there a rift between the coaches and the stars? Are we looking at a team divided? Imagine being an Aces fan right now. You're watching your team crumble faster than a sandcastle at high tide. It's not just about losing games, it's about losing their identity. The Aces used to swagger onto the court like they owned the place.
Sydney Colson has now chosen not to re-sign with the Aces and has gone to the Indiana Fever. Sydney Colson's agent, firstly, I don't think agents in general should be super active on social media. Sydney Colson's agent had made some not so kind remarks on social media.
Now, it's like they're playing with a pair of twos in a high-stakes poker game. You know what's wild? Experts are saying this could be the end of the Aces dynasty. That's insane. It feels like just yesterday they were on top of the world, and now they're scrambling just to stay relevant. The path back to glory is looking rougher than a back alley poker game. Let's talk about the fans for a second. They're in shock. Can you blame them? One minute they're celebrating championships, and the next they're watching their favorite players walk out the door. It's like waking up and finding out your winning lottery ticket was actually a prank. But here's the thing. This isn't just about the Aces falling apart. It's about the whole WNBA landscape shifting. Teams that used to be underdogs are suddenly looking like contenders. The balance of power is changing faster than a fast break. And you know who's feeling the heat more than anyone else? Aja Wilson. She's gone from being the star of a championship team to the captain of a sinking ship. How's she gonna handle this pressure? Will she be able to rally what's left of the team, or is this the beginning of the end for the Aces' reign? Aja Wilson's world is spinning like a basketball on her fingertip, but this time, she can't control where it's gonna land. The Aces' superstar is feeling the heat, And it's not just from the Vegas Sun. She's watching her championship squad crumble, while the Indiana Fever are building a dream team. Can you believe it? Wilson's probably thinking, what's next? Caitlin Clark gonna steal my jersey? But here's the real kicker. The entire WNBA is turning upside down. The underdogs are suddenly top dogs, and the champs are scrambling like it's a loose ball in the final seconds. Experts are even whispering about the Fever being dark horse contenders. That's insane. You know what's crazier? The fans are losing their minds. Social media is blowing up with Fever faithful ready to paint the town red. It's like the whole league just got dunked on its head. This season, it's going to be wilder than a half-court buzzer beater. Are you ready for this roller coaster?